John Wick, the Keanu Reeves starring action movie, came out in 2014 and currently is sitting at a very solid 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. The critics' consensus called it stylish, thrilling, a return to action for Keanu Reeves, and what looks like it could be the start of a franchise. And they weren't wrong. It's directed by David Leitch and Chad Stahelski. I'm not sure which one of these directors is most credited for this movie or which one I should credit the most, so I'll just talk about them evenly because I really didn't do enough research on this. The direction is one of this movie's strong points. Whereas a lot of action movies go for really fast cuts and some shaky cam, nonsensical action, in this one you can see everything that's happening. They do some phenomenal work with wires, and every time someone throws a punch, even though I'm assuming the other actor isn't actually getting punched, it looks like they are. And they do a great job of cinematically, they can hold the camera there while the scene is unfurling and it doesn't cut too quick, which takes a lot of skill and precision, and I really appreciate that they did that. It adds a realistic feeling to this movie. Without that sort of direction, I think the movie would have felt like nothing was happening at the same time, like a lot of action movies do. It's just a bunch of random cuts. But at this one, everything feels like it flows smoothly, and it's really, really cool to see some of the stunts done, like, all in one frame. You don't see that in a lot of movies, and they do a really good job in this one. This movie is kind of a reverse of The Bourne Identity, whereas The Bourne Identity brought in the idea of using shaky cam to immerse you in the action. And this movie kind of brought that to a complete halt, using very minimal shaky cam and still shots to sort of make you feel like you're there in the action as like a bystander. Both great movies, and both are turned into franchises now, which have very good initial trilogies. Hopefully the John Wick trilogy can match the Bourne trilogy. Right now it's 2 for 2, so we'll have to see where it goes. I can't talk about this movie without talking about Keanu Reeves. He plays a phenomenal badass in this movie. Like, there's not too much substance to what Keanu Reeves has to do. He just has to show emotion through his face, mostly rage and sadness, which he does a good job. I'm not trying to knock him on that, but where he really shines is the action stuff. Like, he's so good. Someone told me he does his own stunts, and I haven't looked that up to see if it's true. I should probably do that. Does Keanu Reeves do his own stunts? So it looks like, yeah, he does do his own stunts, which is very, very impressive. He does a great job with them. And his character is given a solid backstory. I sort of liken the first couple of minutes of this movie to the beginning of Up. Seeing him sort of grow, not to the extent as in Up, but you see him have a connection with this woman, and she doesn't say anything. She's not really a part of the movie for any purpose. Like, she's there so that she'll die and be John Wick's tragic backstory, and it really is tragic. It hits hard, and it comes up multiple times throughout the movie, and you can just see that he's a broken, grieving man, which Keanu Reeves plays incredibly well. The character and the actor just mesh really well with him. He does a phenomenal job in this movie. I can't say it enough times. Other than being well directed and well acted, there's not too much in this movie. It's a very bare bones story. He's an ex-hitman, he wants revenge, and he's gonna kill a ton of people to do it. Whoever gets in his way, he's not gonna stop. And it's really good. I think that sort of simplicity really works well for this movie. A lot of action movies nowadays are so complicated and unnecessarily so, and if they're not gonna do it well like The Accountant does, in my opinion, I think Accountant does the complex storytelling really well. For every The Accountant, there's a Jack Reacher Never Go Back, which is to say, a very poorly executed action movie with a complex story. In this movie, you've got John Wick as this guy who wants revenge, and he's gonna kill people, and that's the story, and they do it really well. Everything's understandable. Each movie makes a lot of sense. He's a smart guy, and you can really see that. It was just a good choice, because it allowed them to focus on the direction, the action, and the character of John Wick, and I think they did a phenomenal job with that. All the other actors in this movie are good. They do their jobs very well, and I can't knock any of them for it. I like every single one of them, even though I don't really know any of them. Oh, yeah, Willem Dafoe is in this, so he's a good actor too. He does a good job in this movie. He's on par with everyone else, which, you know, shows you how good they all are. Even the lesser-known actors do a really good job. So, for all those reasons, I do believe that John Wick could get a little bit of a higher score on Rotten Tomatoes. Maybe a 90 to 92% would be adequate in my book. 85% though, that's very appropriate. They did a good job with that one, so I'll say the critics got it right on John Wick. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share, and as always, steal the show.